Hello, and welcome to the meditation series, spirituality series, where 5 nights a week, different teachers, different students who are teachers reflect and think about ways that we can all kind of create change in our lives right now and try to better ourselves and better our lives so that we can deal with all that's going on. And so every night, Monday through Friday, and then we have some wonderful classes on Saturday on the Facebook, on this Facebook page, which also goes to YouTube. And we just explore different topics and topics that we think are important to you and topics that can be of help in your life. And I personally can tell you, because I have been practicing for over 34 years. No, it'll be 34 years this year. Pretty soon, 35 years, that the Brahma Kumari's meditation has helped me immensely in my life and helped me deal with the many issues that I've faced, as I know you've probably faced a lot of issues too and problems, and been able to help me in a way that instead of suffering through problems and suffering through life, I'm able to, most of the time, I have my moments, of course, transcend and go beyond the problems and go beyond the difficulties. And, I think back of things that I have been through, and I'm looking around, we all see in the world what's going on and how difficult things are. People are facing obstacles that they've never before faced. And yet, the important thing really is a way of thinking and a way of dealing with the problems that we're facing. So I picked my topic tonight. We get to pick our topics. Nobody's yet told us that we can't, that we don't have a topic that's not okay. They seem to all be pretty good, pretty acceptable, meaning, yeah. And my topic is worry-free living. So I thought about that because what I realized was that people are talking so much about anxiety. I think Time Magazine had that the anxiety is now the word of the world everywhere. Everybody, it's an anxious world because it's a world uncertain, that's so uncertain and so where we've just never before, of course, lived in a world like this. None of us have, I don't think. And so what I thought about was, what is connected to anxiety and what's causing anxiety? And what I came up with personally, and you can disagree with me, you can send me a note or whatever. I think you can chat on this. This is my first time using the FaceTime because I have been using Zoom live. We were using Zoom and we've just recently gone to FaceTime on the Brahma Kumari's FaceTime site. So on the, I'm sorry, not FaceTime, Facebook. Forgive me, I get them mixed up once in a while. So anxiety to me is caused by worrying, because what happens? We have a thought, we have something that's bothering us, and we begin to get fearful. We begin to think about it's one thought, then another thought, and then another thought, and it's all, honestly, it's all kind of negative thinking. It really is. And one thought leads to another, and what do we have? We have like a mind. Our minds are completely filled with fear and with just a feeling of uncertainty and wanting to try to deal with things, and it's all happening in our heads, and we can't stop, to the point where often people can't sleep, people can't think correctly. Recently, someone said to me, they said that they were feeling so sad all the time, that their mind was just like, they just felt sad, something going on inside. And what they did was they went and got a hold of a book about dealing with negativity in your life. And they said that they started reading it a drop at a time, not all at once. Sometimes we want to devour a book, right, when we're dealing with a problem in life. But they just took a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time, and they found that the sorrow and the sadness started to diminish. And now I'm not saying that you can just, get rid of all sadness in 1 second, in one fell swoop, because these things take time. But this comes from the worrying that goes on inside the head, and it accumulates. It gets to the point where I really believe that worrying, it causes emotional illness, it causes physical illness when you feel weak. when you can't sleep, what's going on? Many people have come to meditation classes, I know, to my classes, and I ask them, why have you come? And they'll say, I can't sleep at night. And I go, what's going on? And what do you think is going on? Their thoughts. They're thinking all night. They cannot stop thinking. And I think we've all had that situation where we just can't stop thinking. We have a problem, and we're trying to solve it in our head. And that, to me, is what right now is what I really want to share. And what I think is the most important thing is that there is another way to solve our problems. It's a different way of looking at our lives. And it's not so much with our head, it's with our thoughts, but in a different way. And it's by calming ourselves down and getting to a state of such peace that this worrying and this fearfulness starts to diminish drop by drop, or hopefully maybe all at once. And so how do we do that? If you're watching our this page that we our Brahma Kumari's Facebook, it's we're all about meditation. So of course I'm going to tell you about meditation, right? To clear your mind. So the first step, I feel, is to just stop and find yourself a comfortable place and just sit with yourself. Maybe put on some beautiful music. Just sit with yourself and feel the silence. Enjoy the silence. Not so easy, is it? We're not used to silence. We're used to just constant noise in our lives, and noise and things going on, and often the noise is really in our heads, worrying about a situation. And listen, there's big situations today, but for everybody, none of us knows what's going to happen. We don't know tomorrow what's going to happen, but there is a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking where you just slow down your thinking and you begin to get this clarity. So to me, step number one is just sitting in silence, in peace, and trying to experience peace, and just try to feel peace and say, I am peace, and I am a being of peace and a being of light. Now, I have to tell you, when I started this, I couldn't stop for 1 minute. We started to meditate, and the moment that I started to meditate, I tried to meditate, what happened to me was the thoughts got worse. The thoughts and all these things, things I had to do, things that I didn't do, all just started coming at me at once. Because I worked in television, and my life was really very, very stressful. Not bad stressful, but every second, it was another thing you had to deal with doing live television. Like, this is live, but this isn't so stressful now because I guess, we've all been meditating for a long time, and our attitude is really about, let's just be peaceful. What else is more important, right? So as we slow down the thoughts, and we start to just get into a state of relaxation, and we often say a word, sometimes before we meditate, and you know what that word is if you're a regular, and it's Om Shanti. So let's start with that right now, and just say to yourself, Om Shanti. Say it out loud. Say Om Shanti. Om Shanti. One more time. Om Shanti. I have to share something as I was telling you Om Shanti, because when I came to the center years ago, the teacher asked me, what brought, have you done any meditation? And I said, no. I said, I really haven't meditated. I lived in the woods, in the mountains out west, and that was sort of a form of meditation for me, being with nature and the woods and trees. I love that, and I felt peaceful. But I said, yeah, but I do say Om. And she looked at me and said, well, where did you learn that? And I said, somewhere on television. I heard somebody on TV doing something, and they went, Om. And I said I would sit there to relax. Om. Something I don't know, I can't even remember where I picked it up. I heard it, and that was as far as I had gotten. I didn't really have any spiritual knowledge, but I didn't really know about peace. But you know why I did it? I did it because it made me feel really relaxed. So let's start with that. And why don't we breathe a little bit too? That helps. So just breathe in for a minute, like inside, with your mouth or however, and just go, hold it. Breathe out. and then relax. Breathe in, hold it, breathe out, and just relax. So what we're trying to do is just get rid of those thoughts and everything coming at us, and let's just meditate right now and just let's get into it, okay? And so let's think, I am peace. I am all about peace. I may have forgotten who I am because I have been so caught up in a life of activity and a life of doing, and I have forgotten who I am and why I am here. But now, as I see the need in the world, I see the need for myself to be able to stop the worrying and the fearing and the uncertainty. It's time to get back to this feeling of peace. Can I remember that I felt a sense of peace in my life? And I'm thinking, yes, moments, glimmers of peace. As a child, I felt peace just being with my family, being with, my parents or with friends as a child, or just being at a birthday party even as a child, just enjoying the love and the happiness in the air. So all I have to do is just think peace and remember who I truly am. And who am I? Who am I? I am light. I am a point of light, a tiny point of light located right in the center of my forehead, a beautiful, shining light. And it's not something that I can see, but as I sit here in peace, and I sit here trying to just get away again from my worries and my concerns about life and my feeling of what's going to happen next, as I just sit here, I enjoy the moment and I feel the peace. I don't think peace, I feel peace. I feel calm. I just feel calm. I let everything go. And if something comes into my mind right now, all of a sudden it will, and it could, just look at it and let it go. Just let it go. Go beyond, go away. Just let it float. Let me let it float away. It could be a worry about a job. It could be a worry about my children. It could be a worry about getting sick, a fear, all of these thoughts. And so again, let it go. Let it see it. Be very, very detached from it. Just be like you're the observer. I am the observer. I'm watching my thoughts now. I'm watching myself. It's as if I'm on the outside looking in and seeing myself. I'm very special. I can feel how special I am. And that I'm now making effort to free myself from some of this worrying, or a lot of this worrying that I may be undergoing now, especially in these difficult times. But do I need to worry? Does it help me? Is it of any use to worry? I can feel now that it's really not of help. What's feeling good for me now is calm, just being in a state of calm, a state of just relaxation and a feeling that everything is good, that I am good. I am making effort to create change in my life and to do things that will be of great help in my life and help others. So all is good. Let me experience myself as a light, a bright, beautiful light. Let me shine. Shine as I think back again as a child, or maybe even a little older, and just those moments in my life growing up and into young adulthood, or whatever age I've been at. And let me remember those moments where I was shining. It was as if nothing bothered me. I didn't have a care in the world. I didn't worry about anything. Even if I experienced something, I didn't hold it. I didn't grab at it. I let it go. I was just seeing it as a child, but not the person that was experiencing it. Because that's what children do. They don't really suffer like that as children, hopefully. And I was one of those children, right? Just think back to yourself as a child and think back. I am light. I am a bright, beautiful light, and I'm shining. And I'm spreading light wherever I go. I am energy. It's not just all about my physical being, about my body and who I am and what I do and all of those things that come up every single day in my life. None of that is really who I am. In the end, I am a spirit. I am spiritual energy. And in the end, that's all I will remember, and that's all others will remember about me. So let me think now of myself as this peaceful, beautiful being, and let me let go of anything that's causing distress right now. Say goodbye to that worry. Just again, I let that worry go, and I realize that the more that I'm able to just let it be and let it go, the more I'm able to have clarity, to have understanding in my life, to realize what is truly important in my life. And I know what it is. It's peace. It's love. It's happiness. That's all that counts. Only the spiritual things are what are going to help me in the end, or on my journey, as I am on a journey. So let me just experience this peace right now and not see myself as a bundle of worries, someone who's worrying about everything and not being able to deal with anything. Because when I worry, I only get myself more tied up in more worries. So let me just be. Let me enjoy. Let me experience myself as this beautiful being of light and love. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And that means, as we were saying earlier, I am peace. And I don't have to worry, because what I'm realizing is worrying doesn't get us anywhere. You know, that's the weird part about it. Sometimes people have said to me, I've heard this, lots of things I listen to, and I go, well, I'm not so sure about that, but I respect it because that's how people deal with life. Some people have told me that the more they worry, the more that they can, that's how they take care of things. That's how they accomplish things. They worry about it, and that gets them going. And I understand that can work in a sense, because what you're doing is you're trying to take control of things and think, well, how am I going to take care of this, and how am I going to do that? And you're trying to manage your problems. But in the end, you're not feeling good. It's not a good way to deal, you know. And in the end, it's what happens with continual worrying is it becomes an addiction. It's actually an addiction, you know. The more you worry, the more you resort to worry as soon as you have a problem. So I was thinking about people that I've really, really respected in my life. And what I came up with, I was thinking, how do they handle life? How do they handle problems? Because no one's immune from problems, right? And we're seeing this in the world. No one is immune from this horrendous situation that we're all facing, you know, starting, of course, with this disease, I call it disease, with, you know, everything that's happening with this virus, and no one's immune. So how do people deal that I respect? So I thought about it, and what I came up with is they solve problems. They don't suffer from problems. And I've noticed that people that really transcend problems, they see an issue, they see a problem, and they just are able to have such clarity that it's no problem. They deal with it quickly. And I know myself, and I'm looking at myself because that's who I have to look at a lot. I don't think I was like that in the past, and I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm working on it. You know, that I would often, when I was especially younger, something would come up and it would just be like frightening, you know, how am I going to deal with this? And it was almost like the end of the world just because I had some little situation with a person or a situation or something in life. And it was almost, and I can remember friends or family would tell me, don't worry, it's all going to work out. When you're in your 20s and your 30s, you don't feel that way, or even older, you don't feel that way. You don't think it's going to work out. And what I've come to realize in life is, in its own way, everything does work out. In time, it works out. And it might not be the outcome that you wanted it to be, and it might not be the way you envisioned it, but somehow it worked out and you're still going, you're still here, right? What was that saying that I heard in a movie that everything works out in the end, I forget now how it goes. Everything somehow works out in the end, and if it has, that's it. And if it hasn't worked out, then it isn't the end. I love that, that we still have time for things to work out. And, the important thing is that really, that everything that's happening to us, and we don't want to hear this, but is a lesson. I mean, sometimes we don't want to hear it because it's like, who needs this lesson, right? Who needs a lesson of suffering? But we can transcend our lessons, we can transcend our suffering and all the things, that we go through. We can do it. We really can do it. And so every day when you get up, give yourself a pep talk, Just give yourself a pep talk and say, I am really great. I'm a great soul. I can work things out in my life. Everything will work out in my life. It has in the past somehow in some strange way, and it will continue, and that I can transcend everything and be this beautiful being of light, a being of peace, not just helping myself, but helping others as well. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being with me. I can't see you, but I can feel you because energy travels. I feel your energy, your good, positive energy. So Om Shanti. Thank you.